Hey, family, just before you guys hear the next episode from On a Different View, talking about some AEW stuff, we just wanted to comment and make a little bit of a correction. In speaking on Andrade El Idolo, we mentioned that his Black Mask character is off of a villain caricature or character from an imagery from DC Comics of the same name, Black Mask, that was played by, excuse me, Ewan. We say Ewan McCowan, and we were wrong. So we wanted to make that correction before everybody listens to it and they absolutely lose their mind. And we know, okay, not Ewan McCowan, Ewan McGregor, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? Hello there. So, again, Ewan McGregor. We just wanted to make that correction, right? And we hope Disney Plus actually does some stuff here, some more stuff with Mr. Obi-Wan going forward, so on and so forth. A beloved character from the Star Wars series, again, who also played Black Mask in the movie Birds of Prey, right? That had, what's her name? Harleen Quinzel, right? Harley Quinn, so on and so forth, and the group. So, thank y'all for your time. We hope you liked the episode, and we will talk to you soon. All right, family. All right. And all right. Voice is kind of at a smaller percentage this afternoon after the wife and I, shout out to you, honey, went to go see AEW at the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma last night. And with that, a challenge was given to your boy, right? We like challenges over here. They give us a chance to flex the muscles, family, right? Even with a lessened voice. So we're going to have a conversation about AEW, right? There are certain ways in our community, right? Various communities that we speak about the ladies in our lives, brothers, right? Sometimes we say there are wisdom, a guide, even. In the church house, they'll say they're similar to the Holy Spirit, right? Come on now, church folks, one time. Yeah, right? I still got a little bit of that left in the voice. Cheerleader, even, right? Again, as we broken down in Genesis, partner. My friend, my partner asked me a question yesterday as we're there. Hey, KJ, talk to the people one time about the top 10 things you liked in yesterday's AEW Lights Out Tulsa, Oklahoma AEW Dynamite showing, and that's what we're going to do today, family. There's a lot of different things that I was actually on my heart to talk about today. And we was gonna get into it, family, because again, Massa being a fool lately. They showing their ass. We gonna talk. We desire for folks who have an issue with something. We gotta let you know, okay? Excuse me. We gotta understand, right? Big Mama and them didn't play around, right? My grandmother, my mother, my father, my grandfather, and yours didn't play around. They didn't mince words. So we're going to do it over here. We're going to use big boy language. If you don't like it, you can call it carnal. You can call it fleshly. You know, our Christian brothers and sisters are kind of, they're showing themselves right now. So family, we got to talk. We got to talk open about what's going on. And over here, as a Christian, again, maybe not in the way that Rome liked to call Christianity, right? Because we recognize Saturnalia. We get it. The government always piggybacking off of something that's holy to make it look like it's holy, right? So we were going to get into a lot of stuff. And of course, we took a time to relax, right? Family, don't you know in your life, just before we get started here, don't you know in your life, there has to come time where you come away from a lot of this mess, family. Sometimes you gotta, we done seen some more of these X-Men Doomsday trailers, right? Avengers Doomsday trailers. One with Captain America. Seems like he got a baby. If you ain't seen him, go look at him, family, right? Again, we know the Young Avengers is a thing in Marvel Comics, so you're going to see the old group that we all came to love and, Hulk smash, and he's taking Loki and smashing him back and forth in Avengers, right? That first Avengers movie, all these kinds of things that we've come to love and know, right? They're going to be protecting the next generation. Elders in the camp, do we know anything about that today? You better stand up for your babies in this world. I don't care about what presuppositions, big old word for just what you have learned, what you have been taught, right? The different things and rules and guidelines you've been taught. You better restudy it all. When I say restudy it all, I mean restudy it all. Whatever stands up with love and life, then you hold on to that. What it don't, you better throw it out in your best garbage disposal, compactor, baler, right? Talk to me retail people one time. Whatever it is, you better throw it out because it's trash. So we could have easily gotten to a whole lot today. Yeah. Excuse me. We could have easily gotten to a lot today, but we won't. We're gonna leave it alone. We're gonna leave it alone for the voice to come fully back. And then we're going to go in on the conversation, right? If you look out for that next week. We're going to try to do each one of these little deals week by week, unless something is so necessary that we'll drop a couple episodes. We'll see how your boy feel, right? And we'll see how it goes. All right, let's into this top 10, right? Top 10 things that I liked about AEW Tulsa 2025. Number one, there was awesome energy in that arena. Awesome energy. I want to say it's the first Dynamite in Tulsa, maybe second. I know I went, me and the missus, we went to the one in OKC when it came out in OKC. Special mention I got here is for Jim Ross, JR, right? One of the Hall of Fame voices of professional wrestling, as they say, one time. Without question, and again, for people who going to get crazy about who may have had this, that, and the other to say about, so-called black folks, family, just realize this is the reality for folks. We're going to get into certain topics here. We're going to keep it light because, again, we got to get through some information. But at the end of the day, this is just know that's what it is, okay? Every people group deals with it. We're going to see what WWE do with Finn Balor in 2026, but we're not holding breath. Let's just say it that way. You haven't done anything in 10 years since you won the Universal title, and we're pretty sure that you're probably not going to go back to it. But we'll see, right? We could be wrong. Speaking of which, on the competition side, long live the revolution, as we like to say on our social medias. We hadn't did the open. We'll take the time to do the open now, right? Welcome in us a different view family who believe in, who love after, who hunger and thirst, search and seek, and have fun with that, which is a different view. Family, welcome in. Again, top 10 things that I liked about AEW Tulsa 2025. Number one, y'all need to start making, if we could say this as a fan of AEW, can you please start making some more trips to Oklahoma, please? We know and we get it, right? There's other places that are sexier on the list. They're gonna have more people, like your boy's old hometown, our hometown of New York, right? Long Island one time. We can understand that, there's money to be made when you go out to Cali. There's money to be made when you go down into Texas. There's money to be made when you go down into Florida. We get it. Jacksonville, Florida is like the home of AEW, especially carried them through during the COVID outbreak, pandemic, epidemic, whichever word Massa give us that you want to use, so be it. At the end of the day, family, and you can look up each one of them. Again, we like leaving homework for folks, right? But at the end of the day, there was great energy in the crowd, and I think there's something to say about coming out to such an historic place as Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? So it was cool that they're there. We hope that AEW comes back soon. This is just not a plug for Massa stuff or anything like that. We're saying what it is, okay? It's a good place to go out. And again, we talk about distractions, not distracting us, family, but family, we also need distractions. So we hope they come back. Starting with number 1, Shelton Benjamin versus John Moxley for a shot at the Continental, the AEW Continental Championship. This was a good open to the show, without question. Okay. Started off slow. Of course, Shelton is 50 and going beyond 50. Moxley is getting up in age, although he's still got some wheels left on the tire tread. He's put himself in crazy, wild, violent matches, right? This is his thing, a violent gentleman. That's what he used to start off with way back when in AEW, right, sir? We hope you come back to that a little bit, but anyway. Good, hard-hitting match. Both of them gave it to each other. Me personally, they could have run it back. So the stipulation in the match was that if Shelton won, he get a shot at the AEW Continental Championship. If it was a draw or if time ran out, that he would have got a shot. And don't you know, they went to 5 seconds right at the end of the match. Now because, see, we know how wrestling plays out, family. We've been doing it long enough. We've been looking at it long enough, unfortunately. Some of my friends way back in the day put your boy on to how it looks. So we figured out a lot of what goes on with it, right? This is the part where people talk about wrestling's fake. Family, there ain't nothing fake about the bumps that those wrestlers are taking. And barely few of us could do it. So before you get out with the fake thing, know that it's just a setup and a simulation like you going to work every day. It's just as fake. Anybody in the house that does wrestling, shout hallelujah. Okay, you set up just the same way. You work your fingers to the bone for a 25-cent raise at the end of whatever the year is, right? Whether they give it to you at the end of the year, September, March, however they do it, right? It don't matter. Maybe it's not March. We're just throwing out stuff, okay? So again, before you go crazy on the wrestler, just know you in a simulation just the same. It's set up, it's staged, it's stoogey, just saying what it is. After watching a really cool thing, me and the missus, we sat down to, right? And it's really cool when your partner, when your tag team partner comes along, right, for the ride with you. Sometimes it's something they're not down with, but it's cool when they're down with it, right? This goes for anybody in the household, whether male nor female, right? We can stand up and testify to it. At the end of the day, we watching Ricky Dragon Steamboat's documentary on AEW. It's a Superstars Originals type of thing WWE does. Hey, Vince, man, you we gonna try to keep the adult language to a certain thing, but we'll just say it outright. Use the dick to Ricky Dragon Steamboat, huh? We're talking about a wrestler that's on par, if not better than Ric Flair. Y'all go back and look at the tapes. Y'all go back and look at the matches. That man right up there with him. You know what was the separating factor? His skin tone. Plain and simple. And that is Vince's company. We'll see how this so-called lawsuit allegedly saying that Vince set up the TKO sale so that he can stay behind the scenes with WWE. We'll see how it goes. Again, the key word there is allegedly, family, because we know Massa like to hide his tricks. We say his when we say Massa because we know this thing was built for men, family. Of course, we know men just not the only ones down here. This ain't like Planet of the Apes, but I digress. That match was really good. Okay. We went on that whole Ricky the Dragon thing to let you know it's a shame, right? But they could have ran this match back. They should have let the time run out, and they should have run it back. Shelton and Moxley. Again, we trying to fill time, and we pushing shows to 2-3 hours. Number one, we only got 24 hours in the day. We really don't have time to be sitting down for 3 hours watching wrestling. I'm sorry, y'all. Right? Put that thing 1 to 2 hours and let's keep it moving. But because really, when you get down to it and you really get into the pace of wrestling, you can fast forward through about at least half that show anyway. That's either one. That's whether it's WWE or AEW. But we're there. We're taking in the matches really good. Shelton did a lot of his old moves. You seen pay dirt. You seen that old school kick. Of course, you've seen him do his patented jump off the top rope. Climb up to the top rope and do whatever move it is. We know that everybody remembers Shelton for the sweet chin music that he caught from Shawn Michaels, right, in AEW, in WWE, excuse me. But we know without question, Shelton Benjamin is that dude. Sir, thank you, along with Jon Moxley, for putting on one hell of a match as an open. So that's number one. Let's see. We got some results here. Yeah, he lost in the last. It was literally like 5 seconds. Yeah, so that's really that. Number two, the tribute to Hiroshi Tanahashi, right? Legend in Japanese wrestling. 26-year career. More of that watched over in New Japan than John Cena's retirement match here in the States, right? Very moving. It happened on the 4th. Of course, we're here now. Well, yeah, yesterday was the 7th. We're here now on the 8th of January. Of course, it was against his old rival, Kazuchika Okada, right? The Rainmaker. Really good match. Or really good tribute, I should say. I didn't see the match. Very good tribute. Flowers and roses. He got his roses as he should have, right? He's gone through injury just the same, all kinds of stuff, right? Ospreay was there. Will Ospreay, excuse me. Kenny Omega was there. I want to say maybe Swerve Strickland was there. I could be wrong. It was just good to see the respect given to this man for the work that he has given to that which is the sport of professional wrestling. So that was good to see. Just as an in-between as they were skipping from match to match. Number 3 was this 3-man tag match, a 3-man tag match. Jack Perry, Jungle Jack, right? Jungle Boy, part of Jurassic Express with Luchasaurus, right? Who is out now nursing an injury. So we hope quick recovery for you. I think the company had a good foundation. AEW executives, if you hear this, you have a good foundation with Jurassic Express, excuse me. And also with Jungle Boy, I think that if Willow Nightingale can be a tag champion and hold a major title, so can, and we'll get to Willow here in a second because she was there, so can Jack Perry. Okay. With that said, who was supposed to be there was Jet Speed, which is Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey. That's where you get the Jet Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, right? But they got taken out by the tag team that they faced, which was the Demand. It's the mix of the Gates of Agony and Ricochet, right? We all remember Ricochet if you're a WWE fan. Of course, other people know him in other promotions. The Young Bucks came back in their good babyface form, right? Oh, right? All of that kind of stuff, right? And they're hopping and flipping all over the place. Definitely as far as wrestling in general is concerned, both WWE and other promotions, they're up there as being one of the top tag teams. That's just the thing. Even though they decided to play this Founding Fathers mess, and it was good to see Swerve and Hangman take them down, and we will mention them here in a second. At the end of the day, they came back to their senses, if you will, right? We all know about folks who come back to their senses, so it was nice to see. Of course, as they're doing their thing and giving that good ass whooping to the Demand, it wasn't without the Demand doing their thing. Let's see, I wrote the brother's name down. Toa Liona, right? One of the Samoans of the Gates of Agony, right? One of the tag team partners who is Samoan in the tag team, the Gates of Agony, stacked all three men on top of his shoulders and gave a triplet kit Samoan drop. Yikes. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, that was rough, bro. I want to say it was either Toa Liona or Bishop Khan, that's the other person in the tag team, was just taking Jack Perry and whipping him from the guardrail back to the ring apron and back and forth, and you're just watching this and we're all in the crowd like, ooh, man, that thing was rough. So the Demand definitely gave their ass whooping. You know, we know Ricochet always does his flips and skips, and he's down for that, right? Of course, he's playing a heel right now, so he's got a lot of bald-headed jokes because he's bald-headed. He been bald-headed. It ain't nothing new, right? But, you know, and the fans in the stands, we all had fun with that. But at the end of the day, Jungle Jack Perry and the Young Bucks prevailed, right? Only to be attacked by Don Callis and his group. Like, really? Nobody wants to see this bald-headed dude still rocking this weird scar that he got, I guess, from Kenny Omega and stabbing him with a screwdriver because they was playing on that storyline. And, you know, kind of like Jade Cargill, who's got like this bedazzled cut over her eye from an actual cut she got. But sis, can we just let the scar show? I understand it takes maybe away from the beauty aesthetic, but the thing ain't just to look beautiful. It's this is women who can get down and fight. Come on now, somebody, right? Anyway. You got, you know, and they forgot his name. This new guy that came over, let me see, I got my notes here, let me see if I can pull this up on the computer while we're talking. Mark Davis, of course, who was tag partners with Kyle Fletcher. He was in there along with, let's say Jake. Let's see, new. Pardon me 1 second. Let me see if this works. Jake something is what he used to be called in TNA. Here, now, I believe he is Jake Lloyd, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's who, because at the beginning of the show, it's like, oh, Jetsby got taken out by some folks, and then, you know, this person, Jake Doyle, not Jake Lloyd. Jake Doyle is now what he's called in AEW. Jake something was what he was in TNA. All right, so he's shown up, new signing there. So, you know, that it was, all those things were cool. It was, you know, it was nice to see the Young Bucks doing their thing. Of course, they get him with the BTE trigger instead of calling it, forgot what it's called, some whatever weird name they gave it before, while they were under this Founding Fathers kind of thing. So again, this is some wrestling talk today, family. So we get it. Y'all tune out. It is what it is. If not, share this thing, like this thing. You can find the podcast on Spotify, Pandora, and Apple. It's called A Different View. You can find it on YouTube. The channel is A Different View 80, right? You can find the channel there. You can find also other repostings and different little excerpts from the podcast and all that kind of stuff when you look up at KJ's Clock on TikTok, right? So we're all over. We're all over. We also do some stuff on Instagram. We're all over, okay? This is just a point now where we start talking about what needs to be talked about. So, and one of those things is also mentioning things with sports and stuff like that, which is what we're doing right now, talking about wrestling. Let's see. Any notes on this? We talked about Toa Leona stacking up the men. That was pretty wild. Yeah, that. The return of Andrade El Idolo. So Andrade is back. He had to wait out some time because there was some contractual differences or a space of time between WWE and AEW. He had made his quote unquote official AEW return a little while ago. Now he's back finally. You know, the lights went out, popped back on. And here's dude with his black mask on, like he's, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's the villain Black Mask from DC Comics, so on and so forth, that everybody saw in the movie Birds of Prey a while back ago, if y'all remember that movie. That was played by Obi-Wan Kenobi, a.k.a. Ewan McGowan, right? I think I said his last name right. Again, we had mentioned... Jim Ross was on the track. He was on commentary again. It was good to see Jim Ross back. He came out to the Oklahoma Sooner stuff, you know, right, and you know your boy on here as far as Sooner is concerned. But still, you know, we're gonna give credit to where credit is due. So Jim Ross is back. We'll see if he stays or if this was just a one-off. That was number 3. Number 4, Willow Nightingale. Willow from Long Island, New York, where your boy from Willow Nightingale one time. Smiling and hugging and leaping and kicking her way and power bombing women all over the place. Sister, thank you for standing up for opportunities for both men and women everywhere. The segment was really cool. That was right about the time where your boy had to take a break to the restroom, right? And so part of it we missed, but when we came back, you know, we interjected our energy, as we should, right? Part of why the voice is hoarse a little bit, right? But we on the men. She's a new TBS champion, family. Who did she beat? Mercedes Moné. AKA Sasha Banks. And we don't, you know, we must qualify this, okay? Sasha and Naomi were treated like trash in WWE, okay? 2 good wrestling talents. While we always will say this about Sasha Banks, she was made because of how poorly WWE had to keep pushing Charlotte Flair when she first came out of NXT. We understand, we like to call it the Flair effect. Everything was because it's Rick's daughter, and she had to, nobody is family. For the boo birds out here in the wrestling group, nobody is saying that Charlotte did not put it on. Nobody is saying that she did not put in the work. What we saying, by the time that thing first started, because it was right around the same 2016 mark, I believe, as Finn Balor is winning the Universal Championship, and he blows out his, I think it was his shoulders, pectoral, whichever, and we understand, okay? But at the end of it, family, that was way too much. Way too much, okay? For as many people have an issue with John Cena being forced down the throat, Lord knows Charlotte Flair was forced down the throat. We're going to get into another one here a little further down with Marina Shafir. This thing with the UFC fighter got to be wrestler, because wrestling trying to get close to UFC and MMA fighting for money is weakening this thing, not making it better. Okay? We understand it's both of fighting worlds, and there's some gritty people, and we get it, right? If you take an MMA class or anything for any amount of time, you already understand that point. But the wrestling part is what's missing. Ronda Rousey has proven it to, unfortunately, a whole lot of back and forth there. Marina Shafir has proven it. Shayna Baszler, while some of these people, that's another thing. Don't you know you're going to get your face beat up in MMA? What are we trying to beautify for here? Again, do not mix two topics, family. We're putting on makeup and we're trying to allow the natural thing to just show. It's okay, just show them as natural killers, family. That's what it is. You get up to a certain part in martial arts, man, you got to register yourself. You got to register yourself. Use a deadly weapon because you... Never mind. Family. Some of this that we be doing this chasing with these folks is rough. It's tough. We get it with the Ken Shamrock thing back in the day with him and Mike Tyson, and we get it. Okay, and it serves its place. Don't get me wrong. It's just like now it's becoming like a modus operandi. Come on, man. Anyway, back on this here with Willow Nightingale and this Sasha Banks thing, because that's what got me to going on that. Family, we understand, or as she is now in AEW and on the indie scene as Mercedes Moné. And there's a price to pay when you mess with Monet, right? So, sis, when they come out and they say you were the sports entertainer, this is my humble opinion, and this is nothing taken away from you personally. I believe that's Toni Storm. Because they put a bunch of belts on you, sis, does not mean you... Never mind, okay? And we understand the work you're putting in for other promotions, but KJ, it's other promotions. No, nobody is turning on the TV. Like, the ratings didn't go up because she got the... And it definitely didn't go up to the point to save any of these promotions and put real money in their bank, family. Come on. Right? We understand she was done poorly. This is a way giving back to her. We get it. We're not saying that she's not deserving on some level, but they could have did that a little differently. Okay. And as she's losing different belts, Alex Windsor just won the UK one that she had back. There was another one that she lost, I believe, over in New Japan or Stardom or one of them. So, we see where the cookie's starting to crumble. And of course, the biggest one here, which I thought they were going to wait a little longer to do, is the TBS one. Right. So, congratulations to you, Willow Nightingale. We know you're gonna do good with it, just like you did with the last time, right? That's just what she is. That personality shows, family. For as much as the sourpuss shows, the same thing happens with the happy person that we know in our lives and families, right? So Willow did cool. She even invited her down to the ring. It was nice to see that Chris Statlander was there because they had a fight. Anybody know about two friends who get into a fight who reconcile, family? Do we know anything about reconciliation in the house today? So it was a good thing to see as far as that goes. And of course, in classic fashion, Mercedes Moné didn't like it. They had cake there. Of course, Willow Nightingale is a bigger girl. Shout out to the big girls in the family one time, man. It's unfortunate, this silly kind of, these caricatures that Massa puts on because he like a certain kind of woman. So the bigger women get thrown by the wayside. If you ain't, and ladies, y'all stand up and testify. Talk to your brother in the comments one time. Talk to each other in the comments one time, right? What's the acceptable size? Size 2? After size 2, that's it? Wait, which one is it? We know blonde is the acceptable hair color. A couple brunettes here and there, family. We just talking about what it is right now for a second. What is it? Which one is it? We know it ain't the big women. It ain't the you pass that off like there's some secondhand prize. How sick too, by the way. Like there's some secondhand prize for the brothers or something like that. It's messed up how people. It's messed up in the mind of Massa, family, and you see this mess come over in wrestling tropes. You see it. That's what that whole Picky James thing was back in the day. Don't you remember? You remember while we extol the virtues of Michelle LaCool and Layla one time, right? Y'all remember Lay Cool, huh? At the end of the day, man, that whole Picky James thing, that was sick to watch. And of course, people eat it up, man. We sit in the seat of the scornful, so people eat it up. What are we doing to the psyche of the that's our partner? You know, if I could take a second to talk about this, right? And we're going to get into it more and more. We got February coming up. That's normally relationship time on the Different View podcast, right? So we're going to talk about it. But at the end of the day, family, what are we doing? So you okay to lie down in bed with that woman, but then what are we doing? She can only look a certain way for you? Man, that's why a lot of stuff go on what it do, man. Because we are some people who set poor boundaries that do not last, and we blasting right through them because the lie is a lie, and it ain't got it's on what your Bible says is that it's on shaky ground, a shaky foundation that will not stand in the storms of life. That's why people up and leave, man. Ain't nobody gonna stay around you like that. Fool-headed people. Anyway, let's keep it moving. So it's cool to see Statlander and Willow reconcile, right? I got some questions here. They're going to give the CEO the title back, probably. Just saying. I understand, y'all, for who may not like this, or for those who do, right? Hopefully we just do the transition correctly. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just making it forced. We had Roman Reigns forced down our throats. Of course, we know John Cena was forced down the throat. And so is Swerve Strickland's new song. We're going to get to that in a minute. One thing to note that Mercedes Moné came out looking like she was Cowboy Carter, right? Y'all know, seen Beyonce, right? Shout out to your sis, right? She got on like the all white suit. And of course, she had like the shades, the broad hat around the shades, kind of what Xavier Wood was wearing after New Day, or this weird. They need to stop calling themselves a New Day, to be honest with you. But anyway, again, Big E, we hope you have an awesome transition into life after wrestling, brother. And we miss you, right? The New Day put on for the black community without question, for people in general. The power of positivity. Don't you dare be sour, right? Clap for your world. Never mind. And feel the power. Anyway. It's a new day. Yes, it is. No, let me stop. Let me stop. Oh, man. You know, again. We just don't need it forced down the throat, family, right? On to number 5, Mark Briscoe. Let's see how far we in here. 30 minutes. We're going to try to come to the wrap in the next 15. Let's see how it goes. Number 5 was Mark Briscoe's little in-between deal. Before we get into that, right in the same segment with Willow, what am I saying? With Willow Nightingale, they had this weird where the lights shut off because they were trying to test the lights for the lights out match. Number 1, AEW, listen. We get it what it is. We know what y'all are doing. We understand it's still on the come up. It's not 2019. It's 6 to 7 years later. We get it. But some of this stuff we gotta nip and tuck it. Okay? Look at what's on the. We get it. We're just doing our thing and this, that, and the other. But let's not act like we're not competition to the AEW. Let's not act like you're not competition to, not AEW, WWE. Just because you ain't got no money, don't mean you can't put that thing on right. The Negro Leagues. And we understand a little bit different scenario there, but the Negro Leagues is, listen, MLB came back looking for them folk, huh? Anyway. Why you got the lights testing the lights during this? We can't even see what's going on in the. Now, because of the way the lights were shining inside the arena, you could kind of pick up on some things and you could still see what was going and keep it moving. But even in that, the lights help you see. What are y'all doing? What are we doing? Anyway, Mark Briscoe, right? TNT champion. Shout out to you, bro. The segment was cool. He's going to take on Hechicero for the TNT title. We get the whole 9 of it, right? Shout out to CMLL and the Luchador, which is just as much a part of professional wrestling history as anything you will find that will be titled something of WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. We're just going to keep it 100, right? We're just going to keep it 100 for as much as you want to see Hulk slamming Andre the Giant. The Luchador they've been running around that ring as part of wrestling history. setting the pace. Okay. So again, we shout out Echecero and CMLL that's attached here to AEW. Okay. And the same thing for AAA with WWE. We know Master going to use you to put them on, but you're the foundation. Just say it what it is. Okay. And it's cool to see, and we give you respect for that. There was a very interesting phrase that Mark Briscoe said. This is why this makes number 5. Reign and defend. Family, I want y'all to look up 2 words. Reign and defend. You know, for as much as all of this attacking that's going on, there's an opposite energy that's clear to see. Just to interject this real quick. And it looked different than how they operate, family. And we have to be ready as people. Not only just to reign, but to be willing to defend. Not to attack, not to be violent, not to be disruptive, quote unquote. They're gonna say you're being disruptive. But be ready to defend each other. Stop being so quick to hate on each other. Even though we've talked about Mercedes Moné and some things with Jade Cargill and all that kind of thing. Listen, let's not be quick to hate. We can still point out differences without hating on each other, okay? Let's be willing to defend each other, right? So reign and defend. That was a really cool thing with inside that Mark Briscoe segment at number 5. Number 6, kind of on the same thing, different way. Especially in the crowd, I'm sitting there. Some teenage girls there, they just soaking it in, man. I'm talking about these teenage. It was cool to see family was there, family. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the Triangle of Madness, which is the combination of the Toxic Spider. Good Lord, I forgot her name. My apologies, sis. Tekla, maybe. Oh boy, it's gonna eat at me, y'all. It's gonna eat at me. You know how your boy get. I believe she came over from Stardom after she had the alleged thing there was that she punched her. She punched the president of Stardom in the face before she left. So while I'm looking this up here, y'all give me 2 seconds just to find this. Hang on 1 second. Tekla. I was right. Tekla was her name, right? The Toxic Spider. So the Triangle of Madness is Sky Blue, who is more like Black Sky, right? Sis AEW, if y'all are listening, could you change your name, please? I may have talked about this before in different episodes about AEW. Can you please change your name to the Black Sky, please? Because this half blue, half black, what do we do? Night Sky. Could you call it Night Sky? Something, right? Because it ain't sky blue no more. Okay. And we know that she had a horrible, I believe it was an ankle injury a while back. I believe she was facing a Karoshita when it happened. You know, and we're thankful that she's back. But, you know, we miss the old sky blue, family, if we could be so honest, right? Watching this new one, it's just a little off. It's a little awkward. It's kind of like how Paige was, or excuse me, Saraya was wrestling in AEW after the neck injury, because it seems like she really can't go, and it's understandable. But you know, family, it's just a little. It's just a little awkward. Like what? Huh? Right. So you got her there, and you also have Julia Hart. Okay. And again, they're trying with Julia. And this is not to say these people don't put in the work. So before people get on me like, yo, you're just making fun of these people. Family, we're talking about how the fan looks at it. Okay. And everybody ain't marks because they got an opinion. Right. They're fans. Never mind. We ain't gonna go that far. But again, to see to see these teenage girls here just cheering and shouting, and that, but most of the folks in Triangle, man, I think Tekla is a little bit older. But the other two, man, it's like what would be if you flash forward just a few years for a lot of these teenage folks in the stands, family. It's important for the younger wrestler to give these folks a path here, because that's the imagery they're going to have when they go forward. Just like it was for me looking at Hulk Hogan, or looking at Andre the Giant, or George the Animal Steel, or Macho Man Randy Savage and Elizabeth, or Ricky Dragon Steamboat, or Ric Flair, or Dusty Rhodes. You see what I'm saying, family? Young people who started off coming from the bottom, whining and dining on pork and beans, huh? Sipping wine from the chalice with kings and queens. Now I'm remixing what Dusty Rhodes said, but we did. This is what it is. Okay, these are the memories that last, that help you really through society. To be honest, with some folks. So it's important, when we're talking about the triangle of madness, man. It's kind of important. But we'll see where they go with it, right? We'll see where they go with it. Number 7, that's just number 6 on the imagery that's shown to the young people today. Wrestling shown to the young people. Number 7, Sammy. That was the other thing. My wife was talking to me while I'm sitting there cheering. I'm talking about a 45-year-old man. What y'all talking about, huh? Grown men out there, right? It's time to get involved. My wife comes, she told me a few seats down. Young black child. Sitting there watching me, man. I'm acting a fool. Anybody know me, family, right? Shaq and the Fool got it for me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, right? But we sitting there, we acting like we're Excalibur. Hey, shout out Excalibur one time, man. We like your announcement style, sir. We like your commentary style, man. It's nice. It's clean. It's got to feel like I think Ian. Gosh, I always mess up his last name. Ian from Ring of Honor, right? It's another commentator there. There's a few on Ring of Honor. It's pretty good. We don't put Michael Cole there. Michael Cole is a good yes man. We don't put him there. If Jerry was less of a skeezy old man, we could have put him in there. Of course, JR is one of them. Joey Styles is another. I do like Taz. Taz is cool. He's a hothead, but then again, he's from Long Island, just like myself, right? So we can understand where you're coming from, sir, right? Some people do not, and they'll just consider that a jackass, so we get it. Okay. Again, the southern jackass just look a little bit different than the northern one, but both jackasses. Anyway. Sammy Guevara versus Bandito, right? Lucha. Okay, so we just finished talking about the luchador. Unfortunately, with Sammy Guevara, while he is a talented wrestler, that's woof, man. That I heard all that New York accent, right? While he is a talented wrestler, his comments about Sasha Banks before she had signed on to AEW were quite damaging. Y'all can go back and look at them. We'll just say alleged, right? We'll just keep using the word alleged because this is how folks hang behind. We'll say alleged comments, right? Or alleged, whichever way you like to pronounce. He shot himself in the foot with them comments, man. It was pretty rough. Okay. And now Mercedes Moné, a.k.a. Sasha Banks, is in AEW. And he's going to have to deal with the consequences of that, which is unfortunately why you see him more in Ring of Honor. They'll probably use the excuse that there's more time for him and Ty Conti to have time with their baby. But again, he was there way before that happened. Again, it's a far cry from him in the Inner Circle, second in command with Chris Jericho. We'll see where Chris Jericho lands here. The further we get toward the Royal Rumble, so on and so forth. We'll see if he splashes in the WWE part of the pool. Again, they're good rebels. Chris Jericho, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Mick Foley. They're good rebels. So WWE has problems with folks like that. Vince has problem with people like that. The match between these two is really good. Okay. I believe Sammy either got a bloody nose, broke his nose, something, took a shot from Bandito, hopping out of the ring, crashing into the commentary booth, I believe. If I'm wrong, somebody shout me out in the comments on it. But he kept wrestling the match, which is what Sammy does. That's Sammy's a tough dude, man. And so is Bandito, right? Speed and power and stuff, that's always been his thing. Teaming up with Brody King, a.k.a. Brodito, right? That just lost the tag titles, unfortunately, right? It was good to see. It was very good to see. That's lately been the kind of trope that we've been seeing, especially when we get to this last one here. Is and I don't think I made it within 10 minutes, right? We did not. All right. Let's keep it moving. MJF comes out. Talking some, this my ring, this not your ring, whose ring it is. The Dynamite Diamond ring, right, is what I'm talking about. For those who watch wrestling, we know there was a whole tournament, or a Royal Rumble kind of thing, whatever. Bandito won it. He won the ring. Of course, that's normally how it works, right? You put in your hard work, they're going to tell you ain't won it, right? That's just what they were playing off of. So Bandito said what he had to say. Of course, he was using Serpentico, who was this, or John Cruz, right? John Cruz Rivera is his full name, who is Serpentico. People who don't know who Serpentico is, if you watched AEW in the beginning, it's a dude with a really long mask, a little bit longer than Bandito's, pointy at the bottom, similar. And he's been around for a minute, right? So he's translating back and forth. It was kind of cool because it was like a promo or something similar that may be done in Mexico, right? Or maybe in CMLL if they do that. I don't really know if they do it like that. And then he's interpreting while Bandito can understand English. So he tells him off to his face. And then everybody gets his finisher, including MJF. And away we go, right? So we'll see how that works. We know there's supposed to be a match with him and MJF. And we know he's going to lose. We already know Bandito's going to lose, right? Unfortunately, like that Shelton match that I was buying into, which they could easily run it back, which they could probably do the same thing with Bandito and MJF. We just know where it is. We know what it is. Okay, so it is what it is. You know, let them do what they're going to do. They're going to give their excuses, so on and so forth. Brody King had a little vignette that's just fancy for a video in between things where he's talking about him and his time in the metal rock band and how you got to protect yourself and be violent and so on and so forth. This is the one thing that we will say about Brody King. They really need to put dude on. Okay. When him and Buddy Matthews and Aleister Black was there, or Malachi Black, whichever black word you want to use, right? At the end of the day, okay. I believe it was Malachi Black, but regardless, he's underused. He should have been champ already. Same thing with Lance Archer. I'm just saying what it is. We don't know whether it's the cross thing, the Christian element on it, everybody dies. I don't know what it is, but Lance Archer, if he's good enough to win in Japan, he should be good enough to win in AEW, right? But let's continue. Number 8 was Tony Storm. Tony Storm versus Marina Shafir. We've already talked about this idea with the MMA thing, okay? Sometimes this just does not work. It's cool that she comes in barefoot. We'll give her that credit. Why? She's got to be slapping everybody in the face, getting them. I guess this is the motivational way. The Death Rider's got to look that way. It is what it is. Again, they caught her around more than they actually use her. At least now that they're using her more, which is good to see. At the end of the day, it's judo throw after judo throw after judo throw. Couple of slaps here and there. It was cool to see some stuff between her and her husband, Roderick Strong. That was cool to see. All right. That was, I believe, the last AEW pay-per-view. I think they also did it the show after the pay-per-view. So, I mean, you know, it's cool to see certain things, but all right. Again, it's nothing against your sis. It's just the industry trying to incorporate, you know, same thing with like Logan Paul. Me as a podcaster or whatever, right? And then I use that status to go somewhere where I'm not there. I mean, it's perfect heel material. Don't get me wrong. It's just like sometimes it's like it takes on a life of its own. Folks trying to make it believable. Like, dude does not do this. He's doing a good job in what he's doing, but he just doesn't do this. It's okay. It's okay, right? Tony Storm had a thing, and it was funny. I thought in the stands, the guy with the red cap he's always on Monday Night Raw. He would be holding up Leonard signs and funny signs, all that kind of stuff. He always wears like this blue, like he's been working in the oil fields kind of shirt or whatever, right? Maybe he does. Who knows? Right? Shout out to you, sir, if you ever hear this, right? At the end of it, he's got a sign like tickle Marina's feet, because again, she's barefoot with this. I thought it was the sign when I couldn't see with glasses on, could not see that it was a little feather that I saw when I rewatched the show. So, tickling her with a feather, right? Which would have been funny. I mean, it would have been funny. But, and of course, the Death Riders had to get involved, because can't nobody, any group of this is just their trope, right? It would be nice to see sometimes these enemies win without help, but regardless, that's part of the gag, if you will. And Roderick Strong, everybody comes out. Of course, Orange Cassidy, he's holding Tony and Mina, and so that was cool, right? A little orange squeeze going on with Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. The Love Bombs is the tag team name that they give themselves. However, Orange, bro, just watch out for Mr. Buddy Matthews. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's not Buddy Matthews. Buddy Matthews is with Rhea Ripley. This is goodness. Juice Robinson. There we go. Good Lord. KJ, get it right. Juice Robinson may have something to say about you getting a little close to Tony Storm, bro. Just saying. But, okay. Number 9, Pac and Darby Allin. We got to see Darby Allin there in the background. We understand he an emo kid and all this other kind of stuff that we playing around with, alternative life or whatever we want to say, right? Just because you kind of dress and model yourself after Brandon Lee from the Crow family does not mean you can't be successful in life. These caricatures that are given to people that they challenge on AEW need to be rewarded. Somebody in AEW hierarchy that hears this, Tony Schiavone, whoever, give Darby the belt. Give him the championship. If you give the Continental belt to Orange, right? If you can give that belt to Orange Cassidy, give the AEW World title to Darby Allin. Plain and simple. Whatever it is, you got to beat Pac. You got to beat all 5 of them. I don't care what it is. This man has done more than enough, including going up to Mount Everest to put AEW's flag there. Never mind. Finally, we get to number 10. Whose house? That might have been a little loud in the mic. Let me back up a little bit. Whose house? Right? Swerve's house. At the end of the day, family, this is the lights out match that they was testing the lights for during the Willow Nightingale segment, which still looks silly. Just have the lights flash on, have the lights flash off, come back on, and just let it rock that way. We don't have to do all this weird. We get it, right? Cowboy, Hangman, Adam Page, right? And Swerve Strickland teaming together. Who knew, huh? Of course, they're playing off the black and the white thing, which we could get into that. Depends on if we want to play on the same team or not. It's plainly said it depends on whether we want to play on the same team or not. Some don't, some do. Plain and simple. Which one of us, family? Which one of you? Each people group got to defend themselves one way. Never mind. Let's keep it on. We gonna go past that obvious little setup right there. They were in a tag match, a lights out match against the Ops. Of course, the Ops is a group, or like I like to say, Team Taz, right? Because Hook and Hobbs with Brian Cage were part of Team Taz. Now it's just Hook and Hobbs, and they're fighting back and forth now with Samoa Joe, who is now also the AEW, or was the AEW champion, right? If I'm not mistaken, there could be a clear shot within 2026 where we would see AJ Styles and Samoa Joe both retire in the same year, but we'll see how that plays out. I don't know if that's going to play out completely. We know AJ Styles has said this year will be his last year. We'll see if that happens with Samoa Joe as well, right? Good match. It had a little bit of the dangerous element, a pallet with a bunch of cinder blocks and I want to say they did a power bomb or might have been a dead eye swerve stomp combination of Powerhouse Hobbs on some cinder blocks. So that was rough, right? They tossed Hook all around the place. To one point, they had him running away. It's weird because we're talking Taz's son here, right? That's not something Taz does. So it's just weird watching Hook running away. I mean, even though it was like into the waiting arms of Power Slam or whatever from Powerhouse Hobbs, Will Hobbs. I think it's just certain things were a little bit gokey, but overall a good match. Good way to end the night. Of course, the good old staple gun came out. I don't see why you had to staple gun Powerhouse Hobbs nether regions, but these matches sometimes go there. So, overall good. There was again, we talk about imagery. Both Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland are kind of joined together with a chain that they both have to work out of. Did anybody in the house know anything about that today? Right. And we'll just see where this goes from here. We'll just see where it builds. There was some stuff where they're both staring at each other, so that was a little weird to me. It's like, are we just gonna go back to fighting each other again? Because it was most of the last time before everybody got hurt, and Hangman went on to a title run and stuff like that. That's what we were doing, just fighting each other. So we'll see how it goes, right? So all in all, good stuff, good stuff, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see where wrestling goes from here, right? It was a good pay-per-view, a good showing, good start to 2026 with AEW in Tulsa. I think it was good. I think overall the showing was good. It was good for the kids to see. It was good for women to see. It was good for men to see. It was just the wrestling fan. We had a good old time in Tulsa, right? As we should, definitely, to balance a whole lot of the hellish mess that's gone on historically in Tulsa, right? So that's really it. Those are the top 10 things that I like about AEW Tulsa 2025. And family, right there is where we're going to stop. We've been talking here for an hour on wrestling. Hopefully we can make the next one shorter. Some of these have been long here, but there was a lot of commentary that I had to get through. Some stuff I knew I was going to be long-winded about just because of the nature of stuff. Again, family, if we're going to be giving these kids something to see, something to look at, let's give them really something to look at, okay? Instead of adults acting foolish out in the street and hunting each other down and carting each other away, right? Maybe if we believe that all that part of history is wrong, we leave that stuff in the past where it should have never been to begin with. And we move on to a greater and brighter future. And we hope in AEW that they do the same as we see who will be champion and who will be vying for championships in 2026 in AEW, right? Again, hashtag long live the revolution. Hashtag AEW. Hashtag a different view podcast, family, right? Truly said, family, we hope y'all are having a powerful and impactful start to your year and that it continued through month after month, right? And as always, and until the next time that we talk again, God bless y'all, family. We look forward to talking to you soon. And as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.